Hello everyone, hope you're all doing well. So today, bit of an interesting one. I'm firstly not wearing my usual De Rosa jersey or jacket because I've got some of the old school Heatsink merch on, because Steve from Heatsink got in touch with me recently and he said, Rich, I've got some new pads. You'd be the perfect person to try them. Can I send you some? Now, if you don't know about Heatsink, they are a brake pad company that have been going for like 20 years that Steve's just done basically out of his garage and stuff. I used to ride with his pads years and years ago, and they've also made some other things. They made a really legendary chain tensioner. It was even a short while where they were producing frames, a 24 UK, which I've got one of those at home actually, but that's a whole nother story and stuff. But Steve sent me some pads. I've just put them on the bike. I've set them up as nicely as I can, but they feel really nice. I've just given them a little bit of a spin, and I'm here in Penryn. I've not actually ridden here before on the channel, I think, so gonna have a little hop around, see how it goes. My hand is unfortunately still hurting quite a lot, but I've actually I've changed my grip, so I've got some grip bar tape rather than the big chunky grips that I usually ride with, and I've got some gloves, and hopefully that'll make life a little bit easier. And this is actually only the second ride on the new short Krukers, new to me, so yeah, it's going to be interesting. New brake pads, new grips, newish frame, and you can in fact see in a lot of the cutscenes that you might see in this today that the blue is still on my tyres from the pallets that I was riding on. I don't know why those pallets just weren't properly dry or whatever, but yeah, gonna have a hop around and see how that goes. Thank you very much. If you haven't already, please do go and subscribe, and yeah, let's see how the new Heatsink pads fare up. First thing that I immediately notice is they're just not as like shouty as the Castellia pads that I had on before. They're really a lot more subtle. They still make a honk and stuff, but yeah, I probably couldn't set off any car alarms with these, which I literally could do with the goose pads. So yeah, I'll just see if I can do a little side up here and see if I can hang off it back. Seems good. Let's try something a bit bigger. I mean, yeah, they work. I think in a minute I'm probably going to have to re-bleed this brake because I haven't bled it very well, and having the lever so far out, especially on this hand, is really hurting this hand a bit now. But yeah, because I think if I re-bleed the brake, I can wind the TPA back out a bit. How have I been doing this for 25 years and I still don't really know how my gears work? And I've done a tutorial on brake bleeding. It's been a long day. It's only about 3 in the afternoon, but it does feel very precise, the whole setup, which is good. Now that did definitely slip a little bit, but that wasn't the brake pads, I'll tell you that. That was me not being able to pull the brake lever properly. Oh, that feels so strange, but a bit better on my hand. Now, what if we get one of those pallets down? Whoa there, puppy, that was fun. Woo! I have to say, it does actually make my hands feel better taking my gloves off. So this is a whole thing, like, I've always had thick grips, but pretty much everyone else runs bar tape, and it's really, I think it's really important for everyone to go and try things out. Try it with gloves, try it without gloves. I've got like the biggest, thickest, chunkiest grips usually, the big Ritchie WTS or WTC, or I can't remember what they are, but, and then you've got like Trial Tech grips, which are nice but a bit thinner, and then you've got basically bar tape like this, and there's different types. This is quite padded bar tape actually, but you can get really thin stuff that's just like gripping onto nothing, and people wear gloves with both different setups, so it's worth trying them out and seeing. But yeah, either way, enough about that. Let's try this again. Whoa! I'm going to try this to front, and then it feels like it might go to back, but maybe that's pushing too hard. Whoa! Oh, that was weird. Whoa! I'm going to encourage myself. Yeah! Just before it starts to rain. Oh God, I'm happy about that. So I narrowly avoided getting a proper soaking then, the rain just came down really hard. But I'm now down here in sort of Penryn proper. If you remember the night ride video where I got the lights out and was riding at night, this is where I started. There's just some nice little gaps on these walls here and stuff. And yeah, good things to kind of test out, like how the brakes grip, especially the front one and I suppose the rear one as well, when I really need them to hold like on an edge, so to see if there's any slip or anything like that. Yeah, for now, just gonna have a hop on these, and they're still, everything here is still a little bit wet, so hopefully I'm not gonna fall off or anything, but yeah, let's see what we can do. No problems there. That'll do. Oh God, nearly went over it there. Much nicer. Whoa! That felt really nice. So in summary, I'm absolutely in love with these brake pads. The only real trouble that I had with them is, like I said, they're so new and there's so much pad material on them. My brake lever, especially on the rear one, was quite far out from my finger, but they've worn down a little bit and they seem really nice now. And also, like, from when I first put them on and spanned the wheels and bit the brake, there didn't sound like there was that kind of really honking, loud, satisfying bite that you get from Coost pads. And in some ways that's good, because it's just a little bit quieter, because the Coost pads are so loud. But these have actually woken up a bit over the last couple of hours of riding, and they're making a really nice solid bitey honk now, and they seem to be working on like gaps and stuff, even though I'm not really, because I couldn't do this gap here for some reason, but they seem to work as well, like pedaling up to front. That was really nice, really held on that front brake. And I mean, when you've got this level of brake pads, and by level I mean like the kind, like they're just on off basically, there's no modulation to them at all, because that's what they're designed for. It really comes down to the feel, and I think they feel really similar to Custelia pads, and I think they are, well, time's going to tell like how fast they kind of wear, but they are really great. And I mean, I've been running Coost pads for, you know, years in between the times when Steve has sent me pads and stuff, and they're amazing brake pads. They're not necessarily so easy to get hold of now, and that might be the thing that these Heatsink pads are really, really good for, is they are honestly, I think, as good as Custelia pads, and they're here in the UK. So yeah, I think that's possibly really positive. But I am going to try and see if I can swap the orange ones which are on the front and put them on the rear, and then put the yellow ones on the front, and see how they go on another ride, and see what they're like. And in about 6 months time, I'm going to give you guys and Steve my verdict on what they're like. If you want some of these, I don't know if Steve's going to stock them through Tarty Bikes or what he's going to do. He might even just send them to me and I can sell some of them. We'll find out. But if you're interested, put a comment down below and just say you'd be keen for a set of pads, and yeah, that will help us with, just give Steve an idea about the kind of demand really, which would be great. So yeah, right, I'll stop babbling on now, but thank you so much for watching this video. If you haven't already, please do go and subscribe, and I will see you all next week for whatever we've got then. All right, take care everyone, bye bye.